Yo, the last scene where they show where they actually captured the monsters and they about to look like they about to kill them and maybe capture some of them to sell off. Man, oh man, I already know a great fight scene is about to be upon us in the next few episodes. Welcome to Anime Hour. I'm your host JP, and today episode we're going over episode 4 of Danmachi season 3. Now, of course, in this episode we're still down in that little campsite or little village with the Xenos monsters. Now, from this episode we learned some very interesting things about the monsters themselves and about the dungeon. After watching season 1 and season 2, we kind of knew what the dungeon was all about. We kind of figured the dungeon was like an MMO type of dungeon, a dungeon that you only see in video games, where the monsters, they come, they attack you, after you kill them, they respawn. So after seeing that, you really wouldn't think much of the monsters. You think, okay, they just like any MMO monster. You kill them, they die, and over a period of time, they respawn. That's it. That's all you thought about the monsters. Well, that's all I thought about the monsters throughout season 1 and season 2. Not only did we find out that the monsters respawn, but we found out that the monster that actually died is the same monster that respawns. So you can basically say that's reincarnation. Now, apparently in the Xenos monsters, some monsters can talk and some cannot talk, but the ones that cannot talk can also still understand the ones that can talk. And it's still kind of crazy because the monsters outside of the Xenos, the ones that actually attack adventurers, they also attack the Xenos. Now, they have said plenty of times that they tried talking to the monsters, but they just still attack them. So I have this crazy theory. Now, bear with me, this is just a theory, this is not fact, but I feel like the Xenos monsters, the monsters that can talk and the ones that can't talk yet, I feel like those are adventures that actually died within the dungeon. Now, there are some hints that point towards that, because even in this episode, Lid said that he have a dream about a red sky, and that basically points towards a sunset. But when Belle asks him, have he ever been to the surface, Lid responds and say he never have, not even once. So how could he have seen a sunset? And also, Lid points out that when she started speaking just fine, just really fast and just fine, like she's spoken the language before. He also points out that the other Xenos monsters that can speak also just started speaking real fast, and they automatically knew how to speak, like they already spoke the language in their past life before. So it's kind of pointing towards the fact that these Xenos monsters used to be human. Now, you may be thinking, okay, JP, but I'm pretty sure thousands of adventurers have died in that dungeon. And you are correct. And you're also probably thinking, if all those adventurers died in that dungeon, why aren't there Xenos monsters also? Now, here's my answer to that. Arnold's already explained in this episode that when a adventurer died, they are automatically, their spirit is sent to heaven, and then they give another chance for them to live in the lower world. So basically, reincarnation. He also explains that when a monster dies in the dungeon, their soul is sent back to their mother, which is basically the labyrinth, the dungeon, and then they are too reincarnated. Now, what if some of those souls of the adventurers that died in the dungeon, instead of being sent back to heaven, the labyrinth, the mother, basically takes that soul and reincarnates them as a monster? And that could explain why Lid and some other monsters, Xeno monsters, can speak so freely, so fast, and also why they are also having some type of dreams about them being above the surface. Remember, guys, this is all speculation, this is all just a theory, this is just all me just basically just thinking about what's happening in the anime. I'm pretty sure they're gonna answer this question of why the Xeno monsters are able to speak. Right now, we just know that they're able to speak after so many years of being reincarnated. They just up and speak. But like I said, I don't feel like that's the true answer just because they got reincarnated so many times. Now they can up and speak. No. It's got to be something much more deeper than that. And if it is just that, well, hell, I guess I was wrong. Put down in the comment section below what you feel like is going on, man. Like, how do you feel about this whole thing? Do you feel like they just up and started talking because they were just being reincarnated so much and they was just yearning to talk like it was stated in the anime? Or do you feel like it's a much more deeper reason? Or do you just agree with my reason? Tell me how you feel down in the comment section below. Also, out of all the monsters in the Xeno monster group, I love Lid because he basically got Belle out his funk. Because you can see in the early episode, I think it was episode 2 or episode 3, when Belle went back and down into the dungeon, he was kind of hesitant to fight monsters because, you know, now that he's basically taking care of a monster, he just didn't feel right still killing monsters. But Lid did a very, very good explanation to him. He said, hey, Belle, basically, hey, we're down here to survive. You're down here to survive. Do not hold your punches just because it's a monster, man. We also kill monsters because they try to kill us too. And we also kill adventurers. We don't discriminate. I love that about Lid, man. So I'm really enjoying his character. And I also want to see the so-called monster that's stronger than him that's actually fighting other monsters in the dungeon. That's going to be kind of interesting. I feel like like him and Bear gonna come into a nice little fight scene, hopefully better than the Minotaur fight scene, which is still by far the best fight scene in this anime. I don't care what nobody say. To me, that was the best fight scene so far in this whole anime series. But anyway, guys, this is gonna be the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can catch the rest of me doing reviews on the Danmachi season 3. You're not gonna want to miss it, man. But anyways, I'm your host JP, and this is Anime Hour.